little chickens from that little tiny house out to the
Hello,
coop.
everyone. Come along with us as we travel to Georgia for a week in a cabin with my family. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie. I'm a professional pilot and I like to make videos about my general lifestyle, flying, family, fitness, all of the things that I love. So come along with us and enjoy our vacation vlog. Matthew and I got married in January of 2024 and we just eloped, but my family really wanted to do something kind of special for us. And we also tend to get together every 4th of July and we call it the Palooza because we would kind of go a long time without getting together. Everybody lives kind of all over the country. So we just made it a rule that we always do kind of a family get together every 4th of July. So before we left on this trip, we had to kind of upgrade the baby chickens. They have been living in our tiny home because they were tiny and now they're bigger, and it's honestly getting disgusting having them in there. And it's also kind of hot out now, so we needed to move them out to the big chicken coop, but they cannot be with the big chickens yet because we haven't integrated them yet. So Matthew worked his butt off and put up like a whole other wall, and we put perches out there for them and roosts and all that stuff so that we can integrate them in a separate space where they can have more room, be a little bit cooler, but also be separate from the big chicken. And of course, we always have the best of intentions, but isn't it true that the day before you travel, you're like finishing everything up last minute? So that's kind of what we were doing, is moving the chickens from the tiny home, building a whole other part of the coop, and also trying to pack and get ready for a week-long trip. So we live on an acre
the Big Bertha.
in Boise, and we have a couple of outbuildings
Whoa.
and a bunch of chickens. So I had
dry
5,
clean it,
and then
maybe?
we got a bunch of other babies. We have 13 right now, so 18 total chickens. And it is just a lot of fun, but they obviously have gotten pretty big. I call that one Big Bertha with the white and the red comb because she's looking like almost a full-grown chicken now. But if you've never tried to catch a chicken and you're looking for cardiovascular exercise, I recommend catching a chicken because they're really hard to catch. So we put them all out there, and of course I had decor that I wanted to hang on the chicken coop. So Matthew indulged me and hung on my little signs, and the chickens were very, very happy outside. We have people watching them while we're gone, but we set them up with a bunch of food and water and everything so that they could just be kind of set. And then on the other side of the coop, there's the big chickens where they just kind of free range all day. So we put in an automatic door for them. It ended up malfunctioning, so we just closed that back up. But we will eventually probably troubleshoot that so they can just have it open and close at sunset and put themselves up. I mean, we'll probably still check that and make sure they're inside, but it's just like a way that they can let themselves out before we get up and be outside right at sunrise. And I really think they're liking it. They've adjusted well. Everybody has a lot of room to roost. They love the ladder. Chickens tend to roost near a light at the highest point available to them. So now they're all like crammed at the top of this ladder, and I'm going to need to redo the roosting situation. But they like it for now, and it's definitely better than the little oversized brooder thing that we had them in, and they were ready for the move. This is, I think, about a 4-hour flight, and it's really, really nice that you can go direct on Delta. A lot of places out of Boise have connections, so we like to fly Delta out of Boise. It's just the easiest thing to do.
I want everyone to know that she's holding onto her pilot's license, like just waiting for both of the pilots to drop in it.
Let's see what it's going to be like en route.
Oh, look at those pirates!
I just want to know if it's going to be bumpy or not. It looks like it should be pretty smooth.
Tell me you're a pilot without telling me you're a pilot.
Embarrassing me in public.
The travel honestly was pretty painless. For the middle of the summer, we got the bags and everything, and then my parents picked us up. drove us down to Peachtree City, Georgia, and we were on for a couple of activities that we had scheduled. First of which was obviously abs exercise with my dad in the garage. No, we were doing a flyover with Falcon Formation Team as an RV squadron out of Falcon Field. But yeah, that is my dad doing leg races in his mid 60s in the garage. So I'm grateful that I was raised with like a whole health and fitness mindset. I think it's super, super cool and important to give that to your kids. I also think it's cool that he's, at this point in his life, and he is this fit. So definitely an inspiration. If you're not familiar with Peachtree City, they have a lot of golf carts. Basically golf carts and cars are like the same thing in Peachtree City. There's a whole network of paths that connects the whole city, and it's just a really cool place. So we drove out to the airport on the golf cart and just kind of did airport bumming, looked at the planes, drove around, talked to some people, and got ready for the formation flight the next day. So the Full Throttle Formation Team is a group of RV pilots that do flyovers, formation flight for charitable events or for sporting events or parades or all kinds of stuff like that. So that's what my dad flies in. This is his RV, but they also have the Falcon Field RV Squadron. So they're two separate things, but they do very similar things. Full Throttle will just do air shows and stuff like that, I believe. So awesome dudes. You can look them up on the socials, Full Throttle Formation Team. They are so talented and they do some really cool stuff. Most of them are military veterans and very seasoned pilots. So after our typical airport bumming, which was basically go check out the hangar, fix the decor on the golf cart, drive around, talk to people, look at airplanes, and just kind of see what's up at the airport, we went back to my parents' house, had dinner with everybody, and then met up with my older nieces and nephews, and we all drove around Lake Peachtree and watched sunset because my oldest niece loves sunsets and she likes to get pictures of them. And it was a stunning sunset tonight. Beautiful over the lake there. There's a bunch of people that always congregate in Peachtree City in the evenings to watch the sunset. Cardinals are pretty. And that was how our first day ended, and it was honestly lovely. So day 2, we got up reasonably early because we're in mountain time, and we were in the golf cart again. How cute is this thing? Off to the gym. We try to work out a lot. I mean, maybe 4 or 5 days a week is what I consider a lot. But my husband and I were both in the military, and believe it or not, even though we're only in our early 30s, we will have a lot of chronic pain if we don't work out, as weird as that sounds. So we were up at the gym. We do a combination of strength, cardio, rehab, mobility exercises, and all of that. So I was doing a back exercise routine today. So I was weightlifting. I tried to weightlift so I can keep muscle mass on. It's really good, especially for women, for your bone density, for your overall metabolism, and things like that, balance and all that stuff. So if you're not weight training, everybody start a couple days a week. But I also do a lot of foam rolling. I do a lot of stretching. I will go to professional massages sometimes. And as extra as all that sounds, I genuinely have to do all that. I have some injuries from the military, and it's kind of a full-time thing to stay mobile and stay out of pain. So very grateful for my physical health and mobility, and I'm just into health and fitness anyways. So I do have a fitness guide that I've made that's linked in all of the profiles of my socials, and it is basically workouts I do on the road that help with a back injury that I had from the military and all of that kind of stuff. So check that out if you're interested. It has been very helpful to me because when I'm on the road, it's really easy to get out of sequence with my routines. So next up on July 3rd was the flyover. So we got together with the Falcon Field RV Squadron, met up, briefed, did a flyover, and my brother, my husband, and I all got to ride along. It was so awesome. I have a longer YouTube video that just focuses on this, and I'll add the link here. It was so fun. I cannot say enough good things about these guys, and we really appreciate it. But go check that video out for that whole experience because it was so cool. We made a video just on that. July 4th, we got up early. We put on our matching family Palooza shirts, and we all headed over to the parade.
Hi, Mom!
And we were riding the bikes, and then the little nephews and nieces were all on the golf cart.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we had another golf cart with the older nephews and nieces. And then they did another RV flyover at the parade. So Peachtree City's 4th of July Parade is a pretty big deal. They do a really cool job with this. So we hung out there, we did lunch or a breakfast there, and then we just watched it. fun. And then it was making our way through the crowds back to the house for pool time. So we spent the rest of the day playing with all the nieces and nephews in the pool, eating dinner. We have also gotten into pickleball thanks to my dad. So we're a little late to the pickleball game, but we actually really enjoyed it. And it was kind of fun to get some movement in out on the court and learn a new game. I'm curious how many of you guys play pickleball. I've never heard of it like before this year, and I feel like it has gone crazy. So let me know if you guys play. We really enjoyed it, so kind of might keep up with that. The fireworks in Peachtree City are so cool. They do a really good job with the routine. This is where we normally watch them. It's on one of the golf courses, but the trees are kind of getting high. They may have to do some trimming or have some different watch spots. Matthew got up, went to the gym the next day. I just went for a run because I slept in, I think, if I could guess. Sleep is very important to me. That's another part of my health routine. If I have to pick between working out and sleeping, I always pick sleep because I just feel like it helps overall with inflammation, and all kinds of other good things. And after his workout, we were all heading up to the Georgia Aquarium. So we were trying to find activities that worked with like my older nieces and nephews all the way to the youngest group because we have a pretty wide age range in our family, which is cool. So Georgia Aquarium, it was an absolute madhouse this day, which I guess we could have expected. And that's on us. But we ended up going. We had a good time. It was really cool. But the Georgia Aquarium is a cool spot, though. It has a lot of different exhibits. It's normally not this busy, but it has, I think, the largest tank in the world or something like that. There's something where it's like one of the top aquariums in the world. So definitely worth looking into. If you're in Atlanta, I would suggest checking it out at least once if you're into that kind of thing. We drove about 2 hours north of Atlanta, and we all rented a lake house that we could all kind of hang out in. And there was activities for the little kids and my older nephews and niece. So it was absolutely beautiful. It's very humid in Georgia, as you can imagine, but we had the kayaks and canoes, and then we had this really cool Airbnb that was like all windows and just beautiful. You kind of felt like you were in a tree house. So this is where we were. We set up camp. Matthew did some work and editing videos because if you don't know, he is my YouTube editor. So he was catching up on some videos because we try to put out 2 a week, which is kind of a lot. So he was editing some videos, and we were all just kind of unpacking groceries and all that kind of stuff and just unwinding. My mom's an amazing cook, so she was throwing together some dinner for everybody. And this was our bedroom. It was like deer themed, I think. But it was beautiful. It was just really relaxing. This is all we really wanted for our quote unquote wedding, was just to have family together and just have quality time with everyone. And this was just perfect. In the evening, we were pleasantly surprised with another fireworks display. So this community that the lake house was in was putting on their own 4th of July fireworks type thing on the 5th of July. And it was just really cool. We were all sitting out on the porch talking and just kind of unwinding. And we got our own fireworks display, so awesome little moment. The next day we got up, we all had breakfast, and then we headed over to the beach area where the kids were swimming, and Matthew and I decided to do our workout on the sand. I made the mistake of telling Matthew he could make the workout, and he demolished my soul. He basically made me feel like I was trying to be a Navy SEAL. And that's all I'm going to say about that. That evening, we were doing our little wedding celebration. So we were going over to the golf course for dinner, and my mom made us a little cake and had a custom wedding topper for us with our chickens and our puppies on it. And it was just the sweetest thing ever. On one of the last days we were there, my youngest niece wanted to go do another ride before we left. And it started to rain right as we got onto the water. And it was one of those things where we just were like, it looks like it's going to pass. And it didn't. And we were all out there in the pouring rain. And it was honestly such a cool experience because the kids were just like wide-eyed, and it was kind of beautiful and really the perfect way to end that time at the lake house before heading back to Peachtree City and getting ready to wind down and everybody head back to their homes. So we were sad to go, but at the end of the vacation, you're always kind of ready to get home, get back to your routine, sleep in your own bed, and see your chickens and your puppies.
Weather once we arrive at Boise.
Female pilot. Oh my God.
Temperature is at least
Happy Tuesday. What's that?
It's always a bit west. But then we have the hurricane just moved through. You can see it's going to be pretty roughy. Just that's Kansas. It has 23,000 feet turbulence. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll go over. We'll probably go 34 and 36.
I'm tired.
Time to go get the puppies.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our
Please
Family
hold on.
Palooza 2024/mini wedding reception.
Hi, everybody.
I hope you're all having a wonderful summer. Leave your feedback in the comments and let us know your favorite part of this video or what we could improve to make it more enjoyable for you guys to watch. Thanks for stopping by.